Okay, thanks for joining us today on Nerd Buffet Podcast. I'm Tommy.
And I'm Jake. Today we've got a huge plate of food to take in. By food, I mean some good movies that we got to see. We've got the Magnificent Seven, and what else do we have?
We saw Sully this weekend as well.
Yeah, and episode 2 of Batman the Telltale Series came out. So let's get to it. Magnificent Seven is a remake of a remake.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that the Magnificent Seven actually existed before, which is sad.
You didn't know that?
I did see the Seventh Samurai.
Yeah. Seven Samurai came first, and it influenced a ton of movies.
Yeah.
And Magnificent Seven, the original, was the first one that it influenced. Well, not the first one it influenced, but the first of the two. Right. It's one of the many it influenced.
I honestly don't remember a ton of it because there's a difference between going out and like interested into a movie and going out and watching it, and being assigned a homework duty of watching it. And unfortunately, I think probably upon a second review of the Seventh Samurai, I might like it a little bit more. But it was like loaded onto me with a bunch of other movies I had to watch for a film studies class, and it's all in Japanese. It's in subtitles. It's in black and white. I don't have any issue with subtitles, black and white, Japanese, of that.
You got to be in a mood to watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I tried watching it one time and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't really in the mood. I was like, I want to watch this, but I have to read. So.
Stars Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, I think is his last name.
Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin. And Haley Bennett, who was awesome as her role in it. I think we've got a trailer or something here.
Yeah, I'll show you the trailer.
Man carries a gun, he tends to use it.
Dan, you dead? Pity. I had just ordered a drink from that man.
Took a job looking for some men to join me.
Is it difficult?
Impossible.
How many you got so far?
You and me,
Who's she?
we work for her.
Good Lord.
That's right.
That man murdered my husband.
I want something. I take it.
He will take everything we have.
So you seek revenge?
I seek righteousness, but I'll take revenge.
I need more than a few to help us fight.
What a bunch of misfits we are.
You know how to shoot that thing? I'm good.
So am I.
Who's loco, my friend?
Oh, we're good. We got a Mexican. I sense we are bonding. Oh. We got a 7.
He's got an army!
And they'll be murdered.
By the world's greatest lover.
Why are you here? Fighting someone else's fight.
These people deserve their lives back.
Just make sure we're fighting the battle in front of us, not the battle behind.
Every man's got the right to choose where he dies.
We have nowhere else to go, so...
You ain't never seen a soldier like me. 1, 2, 3, I'm a vigilante. 4, 5, 6, kiss that ass goodbye. When I pull the gun, then somebody gotta die.
What's the plan?
I've always wanted to blow something up.
It's not a plan.
I'ma put your lights out. We can do this right now. I'm ready. War.
How'd we do?
I think we killed them all.
let's get right into it now that we've seen it. What worked for you in the movie?
I liked the fact that it was an ensemble cast, but I didn't feel anyone really had precedence over everyone. Denzel and
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt
Yeah.
were, of course, the main characters. They're the biggest draw. But I didn't care less about the other characters, you know.
The only character that was just kind of shoehorned in to make 7 characters, I can't even tell you the character's name, but the Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
He was really just there. He was funny in some of the the dialogue. The whole, you have a Maria? You talking about my wife? I have 3 Marias. that was great. That was like my favorite thing with him.
That was the bonding scene there.
Yeah.
Finally, we're friends again. Or friends first.
Did you have a favorite character? I mean, because there are so many characters in the movie. I know we're going to agree, actually.
Yeah. What's John Hill? Was the guy's name, right?
Yes. Yeah. Vincent. The guy.
D'Onofrio.
For anybody who doesn't understand who we're talking about, Law and Order, and also plays Kingpin in
The Daredevil Netflix
yes.
show. He was also the bad guy in the new Jurassic Park movie. With Chris
He was
Pratt.
the bad guy. He was also the bad guy in the first Men in Black movie.
So, that guy.
That gives you an idea. He was, I think, because our buddy Tad went to the movie with us with his fiance, and we took our significant others as well. And every time he would say something, we'd all like, ha ha, like, turn to each other and laugh about it. He was hands down the best character. Not taking away anything from him. Especially Denzel was awesome in this movie. He played kind of just like the unstoppable badass, which I guess honestly about everybody kind of was in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
I will say at the beginning,
He was the straight man, Denzel.
Yeah, for sure. At the beginning of the movie, Chris Pratt's character was honestly kind of annoying to me because he would say all these like one-liners and he would say things to where I was like, all right, I was inside of the movie, but now you keep taking me out of it when you say these things. But I think by the time you get to, for me, I made a mental note of it. By the time you get to the campfire scene, I guess I'll call it that, when he says, trade you a gun lesson for a sip of your whiskey. Mm-hmm. That was the turning point of the movie for me, to where I was like, okay, I'm on board with whatever's going on. I guess it took the recruitment scenes for me to kind of get.
He's kind of, you think he's there and he's kind of just, one-dimensional, kind of a funny guy, like you expect. But then when you get to that scene, you realize that has problems. He's an alcoholic, obviously. Right. And he has issues like anyone else. He's
not just an alcoholic to where like, oh, he's a cowboy in a Western movie. He drinks all the time.
Yeah.
He's an alcoholic. And it is an issue for him. But as we see, his vices kind of make the character. Standout character for me, somebody who's always hit and miss for me in movies, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was him until about halfway through the movie, because it's like...
He seemed a lot older in the movie than
what he is.
Especially when you go back and the same director who did this, Training Day director. Think about it. I mean, Denzel was training Ethan Hawke's character.
Yeah.
He was a young kid, Yeah. Crazy to look back on this, but I can't say, because, like I said, I have seen The Seventh Samurai, but I haven't seen the old Magnificent Seven. Is this better or worse than the old one?
When I saw the original Magnificent Seven, I was a kid, and as a kid, I didn't like Westerns because I'm bored.
Yeah, when I got older, I hated Westerns when I was a kid, too.
Yeah, but I
love
Westerns
them
now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just an old man thing, you like Westerns or what. But
I don't know.
I think it is, because my dad watched them all the time. But, yeah, I didn't really care for it. So I really like to go back and watch it again, because they gathered a lot of the big actors at the time for that. I remember Charles Bronson and being in that one, which he wasn't in Westerns a whole lot, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
anything that didn't work for you in the movie?
I thought it was short. I would like to see more introducing the characters.
So it is like 2 hours plus long movie.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy to say that that's short.
It was really good. I guess that tells you.
Yeah.
Like time flies. You know?
I not once and this never ever happens because I'm always like, how much longer? Even if it's good, I like look at my phone. How much longer do I have to be in this world? You know, or I didn't look at my phone once. I didn't look at my in any time.
I would have just liked to had more time with some of the characters one on one, or even like showing more about them than what we saw. Yeah.
So where do you rate this?
I'm putting it at a 4 on our out of 5 scale.
That's exactly where I'm at, man. It was a good movie.
It's a purchase on Blu-ray.
4 stars means buy that the day it comes out on Blu-ray, and try to not go see it a second time in the theater because it's go if you can go see it, but four for me means I'm going to be trying really hard to not waste my money in seeing it a second time because I really want to.
Because you could buy it on Blu-ray for the amount of money it costs you to go see it again.
Right. We did actually make it a double feature.
Yeah, we saw Sully right after Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
Sully is about Sully, the Captain Sully. I don't forget his last name. It's a weird last name.
Yeah, it is weird.
But he's an airplane pilot.
Yep.
Who had to make an emergency landing in the Hudson River after a bird strike.
And I remember this. I remember it clear as day when it actually happened. I actually told, because Tanya was like, how long ago did this happen? I said 2 or 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, you find out when it shows, hey, this is the date. It was 2009 that this happened. Completely feels like just yesterday. Just kind of like any of these tragedy, maybe not a tragedy, but any of these big events that you remember in your head. It's like this just happened yesterday. We've got a trailer for this one too, don't we?
Yeah.
Let's go to it.
Texas 1549, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Sully, we're too low. Sully, where are you?
No one warned us. No one said you were going to lose both engines at a lower altitude than any jet in history. This was dual engine loss at 2,800 feet, followed by an immediate water landing with 155 souls on board. No one has ever trained for an incident like that.
Our job is to investigate how a plane ended up in the Hudson River.
On the Hudson.
It's not a crash, it was a forced water landing.
Simulations showed that you could make it back to the airport.
Not possible. I felt it go. My aircraft.
Your aircraft.
I want you to know I did the best I could.
Of course you did. You saved everyone.
People call you a hero.
I don't feel like a hero.
Show us your cakes, Super Sully. There's been too much talk in the press already.
I'm overwhelmed by all this attention.
The left engine was still operating.
What if I did get this wrong? What if I endangered the lives of all those passengers?
I got an A320 diving for the river.
You did everything you could. It was more than enough.
When was your last drink, Captain Solberg? Have you had any troubles at home?
This is the captain. Brace for impact.
What?
Brace! Heads down! Stay down!
There were 155 people on that plane. And you were one of them.
Over 40 years in the air, but in the end, I'm going to be judged on 208 seconds. I need a count, passengers and crew.
Is anyone still here?
As you can see in the trailer, Tom Hanks is doing his chameleon work the best as he can, becoming just another person yet again. We also have Aaron Eckhart with a sweet mustache in this movie.
Yeah, they both had mustaches, and it led me, I don't know much about the rules of working in an airline or a pilot or whatever. Is it the same as like the military or police force where you can't have facial hair below your lips?
I have no clue. I didn't know that was even a rule.
Because they both had mustaches.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
why
why cops always have
thing,
mustaches and not.
If it's just like we're just extreme heterosexual men, we have these awesome mustaches because we're pilots. I don't know if that's a thing with pilots or what, but I definitely did think. Sadly, throughout the whole movie, I was thinking, man, those are some sweet mustaches. I don't know, man. There's a lot to be said about this movie. One thing I will say is I wish we would have watched these movies in separate order.
Yeah, it was a lot more somber movie, of course, with the subject matter. So it kind of, I guess it's good to kind of wind you down, I guess.
Yeah. It was cool, though, the way it was built. I think if another movie tried to do it the way they did with the timeline, I would have absolutely hated it. But this movie I actually did enjoy because we see the plane crash like 5 times in the movie, in a way, from different perspectives.
You only see the plane do the emergency water landing once. You see the plane crash in Sully's mind like 4 times.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they
go back and show, but every time they show it, they get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Leading up to the eventual, emergency landing.
I've always been afraid, just a little bit when every time I go onto a plane, that I'm like, we're gonna be the ones that are on the news. We're gonna be the ones. You said you've never flown before, right?
Not commercially.
What do you mean by that? Like you've flown in a smaller plane?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But I cannot imagine what was running through these real life people's minds when the captain said, what has he said? Brace for impact.
Yeah, brace for impact. After like everyone's like the attendants are like going up and down the
put your seatbelts on.
Get your seatbelts on. Everyone get your seatbelts on.
Yeah. What the hell does that mean? Brace for impact. Because the last time, it's 2009. The last time I remember hearing anything about a plane bracing for impact, we saw the Twin Towers come down.
Yeah, and we don't even know if they were braced. I don't think they had chance to. So yeah, when you're flying in New York and your captain's like, well, there's something wrong. What's going through your head?
Yeah, that's immediately what goes through my head, anyways. It's a spectacular story, especially about, in a way, it's if you're a type of person who likes to watch CSI or likes to watch the criminal files on how these people do their job or dirty jobs or something like that, this is a spectacular movie to watch because it's a story about people that did their job 100%, if not, went above and beyond the call of duty and saved lives, and it's a real story.
And you kind of see the other side of that too, where if you do go above and beyond and something's wrong, people are still trying to blame you for situations outside of your control.
Because
that was the insurance companies, that was the main struggle in the film, was the insurance companies were trying to say, well, you could have, potentially went back to the airport and didn't have to crash the plane, didn't have to ruin the plane. So
I remember when I first saw the trailer, I thought in my head the layout of this movie was going to be Tom Hanks is there on like trial or something, and he's like, here's what happened, and then the whole movie would have been,
it was going to be like JFK,
right? Like here's the build up of that week and like everything that happened in my life, and then here's the wreck, and then the majority of the movie is them landing the plane and like getting people onto the boat. It wasn't like that at all. It went straight into it, and the whole movie basically was the investigation.
It was about his life immediately after.
There were several times in the movie that I was like, leave him alone. This dude just saved 155 people, counting himself. I think he was
the whole crew, including himself and his crew.
That was crazy. Tom Hanks did spectacular. Aaron Eckhart also
in the movie was good.
The acting was really good.
Basically, all there was Aaron Eckhart and Tom Hanks during the whole movie. It was very
his
much
wife crying.
Very much focused on one character.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of Tom Hanks. If you're a fan of Tom Hanks,
which is not a bad thing at all, ever.
If you're a fan of Tom Hanks, that's good. Good news.
So where do you put this one at?
I'm gonna go ahead and say 4 again.
I'm gonna go 3.5. I'm gonna be a little more harsh, but that still gives it a very fresh rating. And so
I liked it just as much, but it's, like I said, completely different type of movie as Magnificent Seven. But again, we didn't mention it directed by Clint Eastwood.
That's what I was getting at. I think that's where my 0.5 goes down a little bit.
You don't think it's as good as like American Sniper or Fox or Fathers
or Gran Torino for that.
Gran Torino's best film.
So I think it's one of his weaker films, but that's not saying a lot because especially recently his films have been just spot on awesome. There was just a little bit here or there I never felt like emotionally like I was like wanted to scream at the movie or when you're watching a drama and you feel like, hey, I should make me feel invested emotionally about this character or some sort of hardship they go through, which not to say the hardship they go through isn't tough. It's just like I didn't quite get there. I did feel that sense of relief at the end of the movie when they, and I don't want to spoil anything, but when they were going through the tests and stuff.
Based on a real
it is based
so.
But when
that's like spoiling Titanic.
Right. When they go through the tests and they do the thing with the simulations.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya kept saying, mic drop.
Yeah.
During the movie.
Vindicated there completely.
That was pretty cool. So 3.75 rating. That's still really good.
That's still go buy it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Not a day one purchase, but
yeah, definitely buy it.
Buy it. Get it. I know you've been talking about this game a lot, and I played a little bit of it. I would be playing more of it if my Xbox still wasn't currently broke. Batman the Telltale Series.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Season 1. You knew what happened at the end of season 1 because I either spoiled it for you or
you told me, but you said I was like right there when I played it before I quit. So.
Okay, and so we're gonna spoil it right now. So if you don't want to know any spoilers up till now, and I'm not gonna spoil 2 very much. I'm just we'll say episode 1 will be spoiled here. First, let's go to a trailer to kind of see what episode 2 is going to be about.
It's the Waynes. They're behind all this. What do you mean? The Waynes are the biggest gangsters in Gotham. You and me, we're practically family.
Allegations of family corruption continue to swirl around Wayne Enterprise amidst mounting evidence that the family had ties to organized crime. Who can Gothamites look up to?
So sorry, there's been a change to tonight's program.
Brothers and sisters of Gotham, we are the children of Arkham. Tonight, we show you the truth!
Power is an old oak. The trunk stands strong, but it's the roots that hold it up. And the thickest of them lead to Arkham.
Batman!
So, of course, there's several different ways and options and choices you can do to make yourself be Batman or be Bruce Wayne.
It's one of my favorite things about all the Telltale series games is you can basically just choose your own adventure, but it's like I think they call them visual novels, but there's a little bit more action into them than that.
But the coolest thing that stands out about this Batman series so far, and especially now that I've played 2, there are points where you get to pick as like, hey, would it be better if I went here as Batman, or would it be better if I went here as Bruce Wayne and tried to like diplomat my way through this whole thing? Mm-hmm. In the end of episode 1, again, I'm going to say now, spoilers, you hold up Falcone and ask him who is behind all of this madness that's happened so far. And he said, it's the Waynes. It's the Waynes have done all of this. They've been the most crooked people from the beginning. And Batman's like holding him up, outside of a building, like, what are you talking about? Shut up. And there you get the choice to either, which I did because I've been trying to stay kind of like what I see as canon Batman.
Yeah,
you know, like
playing as Batman.
Yeah, I'm playing not as Jake, who's always a dick to everyone in video games. You know, may I mention Star Wars KOTOR 2 when I sold
first KOTOR, isn't it?
KOTOR 2, no, KOTOR 2.
Okay.
When I may mention when I, stole this lady's money to save her daughter, brought the daughter back to her to show her, as I said, actually I'm going to sell her to a new slave, and then I think wiped her mind or something like that to give her all the rest of the money that she forgot to give me before. That's the type of person I am now, usually, when I play games. But this game, I'm like, I'm Batman. So when I had that choice, you could either apprehend Falcone by putting because he's already in, like, cuffs, by, like, hooking him onto a part of the building and, like, hanging him outside for the cops to get. Or there's a spike, and you can just shove him, like, through the spike. So I was like, I wish I could do that, because Jake would do that, but I'm Batman. It was like I was saying. He says it's the Waynes. So all of episode 2 is Bruce and Batman kind of investigating and trying to figure out were my mom and dad actually these people that they were saying they were. And I guess so far I will say, kind of a spoiler, not really, but that isn't answered yet at the end of 2. But
it sounds like to me that'll be something that's revealed late.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that's the long-going narrative through the whole story. It really feels like it. During this whole story, you've also had Bruce is the main benefactor, maybe that's not the word, but for Harvey's campaign. Mm-hmm. And time and time again, there's been times where you can shut Harvey out of interviews or kind of be a jerk to him. I've tried to, again, pretend as if I don't know what's going to happen with Harvey, and undoubtedly, and I've tried to be his friend as much as I can and push my money towards him. Something happens in 2 to where he's like, hey, we've got to separate ourselves, but is that okay? Do you understand? Yeah, I understand. Can you still give me money? Yep, I'll still give you my money, because we need to take a dent out of crime, as I chose to be the slogan of Harvey's campaign. So there's been all these different choices, and it's been a great game. Still not going to give it a rating yet, because I don't like rating episode by episode. I wanna give it a full scale review. So far, buy this game. So I mean, it's at least up there.
I'd like
$20.
Yeah, I'd like to get it when it comes out as a collection. I guess it's out now.
It is. It's really weird that they have that.
The first one on a disc, and then must be a season pass code or something, or maybe it's all on the disc.
I wish they would have just put it out
to download it or something. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's weird that it's all on a disc, or not all on a disc, but they have a disc out already for everything.
I wish I would have known they were going to do it, because I might have
held off.
It was hard for me to, because I didn't even know the game was coming out until the day it did, and I rushed home from work and downloaded it. But the cover is really cool. I mean, it's very simple, but it's just like a white with the black Batman symbol that's made out of Gotham City. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
It's kind of like the newest Hitman game. I love the Hitman games. We both do.
That's something I am holding out for.
We're both waiting for the collection, because they did this one episodic, which was odd, and I'm kind of nervous with that. I know we're kind of getting off on a tangent, but they do timed events in that game, so I'm kind of nervous I'm gonna miss out on that stuff. Like if I don't get to assassinate Gary Busey, I'm gonna be upset.
I forgot about that. They had a whole campaign about you can either vote to assassinate Gary Busey, or I don't remember who the other one was.
Doesn't matter. It wasn't.
But
Gary
it was
Busey.
it was going to be Gary Busey no matter what. I think maybe if somebody would have put, I don't know, who else could you have put that people would have outvoted?
I don't know, Charlie Sheen maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, that'd have been really good to.
Since we're hopping on these celebrities at the height of their popularity.
Crazy celebrities.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. So yeah, like I said, get out there. It's like $20, $20 or $25 for the digital. For some reason, I went by. I was at Walmart yesterday, and it's listed as $30 for the physical, which I don't know why it would cost more for a physical copy.
I don't know.
Even though, again, like
it makes sense in my head.
Yeah, it does.
It makes sense in my head that physical copies should cost more, but when they come out simultaneously and they're the same, I get upset. I'm like, at least knock off, $5 for the digital or something. Like, you don't have to package it. You don't have to print a disc.
Right.
I don't get it, but that's me being nitpicky. I like to have the physical.
But I've never seen that happen anywhere else till right now, and I'm like, why? When it's something I already had, why'd you have to do it like this? Do we have anything else we were wanting to talk about for this week?
I can't think of anything. I know it is getting the end of September, so we are getting into that fourth quarter. Video game wise.
Oh my God, we're like on the threshold. So you're just
there's going to be an avalanche of games coming out that I'm going to have to get, or want to get.
We've been in a kind of a dry season with gaming.
Always is, like third quarter almost always is.
But thankfully, like I said, I've been playing same thing as last week. I've still been playing The Witcher. That game is so great, and I haven't even scratched the surface of getting into it. I've played it like 20 hours so far. Great game. Have you been playing anything different?
I went from Wind Waker to Link to the Past. So I've been just catching up on Zelda games. Link to the Past much harder than Wind Waker.
That's why I said that's probably one of the better. Like I said, either Wind Waker or Legend of Zelda. Did I not? Or
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. Did I not?
Wind Waker is awesome, though. I mean,
yeah,
I love that game.
I'm going to recommend to you. I have it on 3DS. I have a physical copy. As soon as you beat that game, go straight into A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah,
because it's the same map.
Immediate sequel.
Yeah, and it's the same map, and so you can appreciate when you start playing it that I waited 20 years in between playing that one the first time and playing this one, and 20 years later, I was like, oh my God, it's the same music when I go into this area. Oh my God, it's remixed.
I'm sure that music. Yeah, the nostalgia is strong with that one.
Oh my God, yeah.
Speaking of Legend of Zelda, though, I did, when it was free, I downloaded Beyond Good and Evil from Xbox 360. It plays a lot like the 3D Zeldas.
Okay.
It's not as complicated with finding all the things, but I mean, it's more of a stealth-based Zelda game. Like, if you like stealth gameplay, and you like the collecting thing,
like an action-adventure stealth.
Yeah, it does stealth way better than Wind Waker did.
That's terrible.
One section.
Those stupid pigs.
But the whole game's built on stealth. Like, there's a lot of parts where if you get seen, you're dead. Like, automatically dead.
Oh wow.
So they had to do the stealth good, and it is good. It's another game that I was disappointed I missed out on when it came out because, like I said, it's a Xbox original. I think it may have been a launch.
Have they done? Yeah, it was. Have they done a sequel to that yet, or
no,
is it still
it's still rumored? Not even confirmed.
So next week, the only movie that I really care to see out of everything, and there's going to be a long story, and we'll get into it. I don't know if you're wanting to go see it or not, but Masterminds is coming out next week. It's a comedy starring Zach Galifianakis and Kristen Wiig. Don't know. I think it's based upon a true story or something. I don't.
It's Will Arnett too.
Yeah, Will Arnett's in it. There's kind of an all-star cast. A conversation what we got into at the movie theater before you got there for Sully and Magnificent Seven is the poster.
I was there for that.
You were there for that. Okay. The poster shows some actors and actresses that I didn't see in any of the trailers that I ever saw.
It's like,
but now that they've picked up
Leslie Mann and
Leslie, Leslie something. Is that her last name?
I don't know.
From Ghostbusters.
Both the girls from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and the the Ghostbusters girls, because they hadn't been in too big a roles, like blockbuster roles.
Yeah, they weren't in anything that I know of before that. The two of them.
They made appearances here, especially Leslie. She wasn't in stuff. Now she's in commercials all the time, like you just said, and still playing the same character over and over again in Saturday Night Live. Unfortunately,
they both came from SNL, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That show is very heavily SNL influenced, or that movie.
Is it SNL Was it?
I don't think so
produced?
because see the story that we're going to be going into, and I'll get the details next week because it's a very interesting story.
We'll tell the story next week and review it.
Yeah, the studio originally that was going to release it last year went under, and now I'd been really excited for that movie because it looked good because I've been waiting for Zach Galifianakis to do something else.
I remember seeing the trailer for that film 2 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And then it never came out, and I was like, well, I must have came out and I missed it or something, And then, and then recently I was watching TV and I saw the trailer again.
Like, what kind of time warp is this?
What year is it?
Speaking of what year is it?
Yeah,
that's
Jumanji
something
2.
we can talk about. They've been filming Jumanji 2. I didn't think that would ever happen. And it seems weird. If you think about the Jumanji movie that we saw, now everything that I've seen is just them, is just The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and I don't
Karen
know.
Gillan.
And Karen, yes. All in a jungle the whole time, which I get it. That's the part of Jumanji that we didn't see.
Yeah.
When Alan Alan Parrish was in the jungle for 36 years or whatever, however many years he was gone. But
so is this like a midquel then? Like
no, because I think that these are all new characters.
Okay.
I think that. Because you remember at the end of Jumanji, they're like, here, we'll throw this in the river, which I don't know why you don't just burn it or like bury it deep somewhere.
Shoot it in the space so Zathura can
Yeah. But like after going through that terrible thing, that's very careless to just throw it in the river for some other kid to
find.
find.
This is an awful life experience we just had, so.
Hopefully the poor people who's fishing have a worse life or something. Not that poor people fish. I'm just not. I don't know why I said that, but maybe they're the people that find it later on.
It's all speculation right now from what I've seen. I haven't seen anything about it, but yeah, that's going to be a movie to watch, though. I think
so. I'll watch it because it has my childhood nostalgia. Even if it's a pile of crap, I'll probably still go see it. But I think that's going to about do it for everything we have. We talked about Magnificent Seven. We gave it a 4. Sully got a 3.75 aggregate.
3 1/4.
Yeah.
3 3/4.
Yeah. Batman we're not rating right now. Very fresh. Pick that up, like I said. And next week we've got Masterminds coming to you. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them, however you're watching this, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're on YouTube, make sure you put in your comments. We'll talk about you if time comes to it.
Yeah, any interaction with you guys would be great. We like to know what's going on.
Something that we did talk about last week before we go, though, we did talk about terrible endings to television shows, and we did put up I put something up on the page. I don't know if you saw it, but I asked, what are some movies that had terrible endings or the television shows, sorry, that had terrible endings that you saw. Sari from work said Lost.
Yeah, Lost.
Everyone said Lost. That seemed to be the kind of consensus of everyone saying
I never
Lost
saw
was
Lost. I think I would have liked it when it came out, but now it's like a show to be invested in, so I don't ever watch it.
The sad thing is, I remember joking with people, and I never saw 5 minutes of Lost, even to this day. I remember joking to people from the beginning of saying they're all in limbo, and that's what ended up happening. And everyone was joking about, it'll just end up them being in limbo. Do you remember people talking about that before it even happened?
It's like they didn't know how to end it, so they're like, well, this is what everyone says. So
I know that I told, or Chris from work said that he watched it and he loved the ending to Quantum Leap, which I don't understand at all how anyone could ever watch that and like it. There were other comments in there as well. I appreciate anybody commenting in there. This week's question, I think, this is what I'll ask you. If you were going to do a big heist, kind of like the one in the upcoming Masterminds, would you ask the help of your friends and give them a cut? Or would you seek help from people you didn't really know? And why? I'm not asking you. I'm asking them. Because you're about to say. I think because we'll talk about that. We'll both answer it next week. Without anything else to say, we're just really looking forward to this. I've been waiting for this movie for a long time, so hopefully it's not just an embarrassment and terrible failure of a comedy movie. But my name is Jake.
And I'm Tommy. And did you know that 4 out of 3 people don't understand fractions? Well, that's a wrap this week.
That's the whole show? That's it?
That's the whole show.
I feel cheated. That was it?
Yeah, you know where you could go see more?
Where?
You go to YouTube and subscribe. You can watch all of them.
Oh, there's more to watch already?
Lots more.
Like now. But haven't they... Don't they have to make more, or is it already done?
We have more to watch.
Oh. How? Because we're not doing more right now.
More in the past.
In the past? What?